Hey everybody, Steve Bergen here, and I'm talking to you as teacher to teacher, and going to show you a little bit of what the teacher sees after making up several questions for the students. This relates to lesson one of our course. Okay, so notice I'm on my Gmail here, and I believe I'm signed in as Steve Bergen. Yes, I am. And I am on my River Oaks account as Steve Bergen here. And I have easy access to clicking on my drive. I love using bookmarks on the top. I can click on Gmail, right? I don't like having to type things in. I just like to have one click up top. And now I've got one click for Classroom. As you've heard me say, Gmail has a URL of mail.google.com. Google Drive has a URL of drive.google.com. And Google Classroom has a URL of classroom.google.com. And this course called Summer Core, right, only has one student enrolled in it so far, named Jane Doe. And when I open it up, I get to see the assignments GC 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. And it shows me how many have been done and how many not done. And eventually I'll have a bunch of students, right? And I'll see how many are done and how many are not done. And then if I look at one that's been done, I get to click on it and I see that Jane wrote this comment in terms of doing it. And I can reply and say, "Good job, Jane," and I can post that back to her. I can give her a grade of 100 if I think she deserves that grade. And I can click the arrow here, and I can do that for each person who's done this. Assignment 1B was a little different. That's why it's funny here. It says not done, but Jane's very conscientious, and I know she did it. So I'm coming here, right, and I'll see that she chose Larry Bird because she's a Larry Bird fan down here, and then other people will be making their choices. Okay, so that's slightly different because that is a shared document. Um, Let me see what Jane did with 1C. I went over here, and if I can click on done as the teacher, okay, Jane wrote that, but it's not thorough enough because she didn't do enough reading. So I am going to give her um, a grade of an 80 over here, and I'm going to say one reply. And I can do this for each of the questions. Now, creating assignments, which is not really what we're doing in lesson one, is as simple as choosing the plus symbol. And I, as the teacher, and you'll learn this in lesson two, choose the plus. And notice I can create a question, an assignment, an announcement. And this is part of the wonderful interface of Google Classroom. And when I create an assignment, it gives me the ability of specifying a due date, right? So I can specify a due date here, right, using the calendar, right? And that's really cool. So it's going to be due February 1st. I'll choose save, and then I can choose an attachment like a PDF. I can link it to a Google Drive item. I can link it to a YouTube that I want you to watch. I can link it and have a link that goes somewhere. So there's a lot of flexibility. And then after I type something in, I'll just call this junk, and we'll talk about best practices, right? And when I choose assign, there's a very important triangle here. Again, I'll highlight this in lesson two, right? But when you choose assign, you have several options, more than what's right here, and it's going to be important to pay attention to that blue triangle. Okay? It always puts the top assignment, the next assignment up top, and so there'll be some skills on how to rearrange stuff. It gives me the code, and this is the code for the entire course and year, right? You only have to give it to your students once, called PRVHOKE, right? And you just tell them this is the code when they join. You also can, right, go to students and you can invite students if you want to. Now, I'm not choosing to do that, right, but I can choose to invite, and if I click invite, right, I can type in names of people, right, if they're in my contact list. I can allow students to post and comment, or I can allow them only to comment, or I can allow none of them, and teachers are no longer, only the teacher can post and comment. So you have those controls over that. I put a custom photo over here, right? You can select a theme, and you can pick the theme that you want for your course, or you can do what I did and upload your photo. So I'm just trying to get you to see the teacher view and be a little excited about this, because this is an absolutely wonderful independent program, Google Classroom, that's going to work in conjunction with Google Drive. Okay? Much more on how to do things as a teacher in lessons 2 and 3. This is Steve Bergen signing off. And please, please, please stay in touch with me via questions. And please schedule a half-hour screen share, right? So we're one-on-one, and I can help you at the exact level that you want or need. All right. Bye, everybody.